Hello everyone, welcome to another class to go. This is the Scenic Adventure class to go. This bundle was featured in the May release, online exclusive release. I am so excited to bring this class to go to you. I have some amazing cards to share with you this week. If you want the class to go kit completely free mailed to you, all you need to do is place an order of at least $50 in my online store between June 16th and June 16th and June 30th, and you will get the Scenic Adventure class to go completely free. So there are three options to earn the class to go. All you need is a minimum order of $50. You'll get all the supplies for the class to go. If your order is at $100, you're not only going to get the class to go for free, but you're also going to get 5 bonus cards from my basket. The 5 bonus cards may not coordinate with the stamp set or the bundle, but they are free cards to you from past classes or swaps, and they are free to you to use as you want, use for inspiration, mail to your friends and family, however you want to use them. Option 3 is with free with the $150 order. You're going to get the class kit, the 5 bonus cards, and you're going to get a full embellishment package of the featured embellishment that we're using this week. And this week we're using the shades of green hexagons. These are gorgeous. They're actually part of the Turtley Cute or Turtley Awesome, can't remember what suite that is, but they're part of that suite, but they go so well with the cards that we're making this week that I couldn't help but use these. So if your order's over $150, you're going to get an entire package of those hexagons for free. Make sure that you're shopping my online store by June 30th to get the class to go. All right, we're going to jump into today's card. It is a stunner of a card. Now, all the cards we make this week are simply gorgeous. I cannot wait to share them with you. Today's card, I just love. I made this card and I just fell in love with this bundle. This was one of the first ones I made and I just could not stop creating with it after this card. It's so gorgeous. So I'm going to show you. In your class to go, you will need the stamp set and bundle. Your pieces will not come die cut. You will be doing that with your supplies in your bundle. I will provide you the cardstock to do that with, but I will not be doing the die cutting unless it's a shape or something that's not included in that bundle. But for all of these elements, you will need the dies for it. Okay, so we have a Coastal Cabana card base. And then we have another couple of pieces. We have a Secret Sea layer and then a Coastal Cabana layer. All the measurements are in the video description, so make sure to check those out. Now, Secret Sea is one of our new end colors, and you guys, I have not stopped using it. I think I've used it on almost every card that I've made in the last month. So we are going to build our entire scene on this piece of Coastal Cabana. And I believe this one is 5 by 3 3/4. So that's what we're going to build our scene on. Now, I have already done the die cutting. So we have our big mountain range in the back. This is with cloud cover. We have some old olive trees that you'll die cut. We have some of the shrubbery. This is, I believe, granny apple green. And then out of basic white, let me show you the dies. I did this flower border. Now you will have to do this one a few times. Where is it? It's this die right here. So you die cut it. Then I just lined it up again, die cut it, lined it up again, just to get an entire row of flowers. And we're actually going to finish coloring this. I want to show you how easy it is to color. So I die cut it out of basic white to get that, so that I could customize it to what I wanted. I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper here. I'm using Lemon Lime Twist. This is Lemon Lime Twist Light Stampin' Blends. You could also use our Stampin' Right markers for this. Let me just turn this over where there's a little bit of a more blank space here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can kind of see. I'm going to take the brush tip because it's easy to color on the side. And I'm just coloring the leaves. And then I'm just going to go down about 1/2 inch below that surface. And that's all I did. And I had already done most of that. I'm going to take my Petunia Pop Light as well. Now you could do the grass or the flowers and the the greenery in any color you want. But we're going to do the same thing with the Petunia Pop. We're just going to kind of use the side of the brush tip. I found this to be the easiest way. And you're just going to kind of color those. And then you're left with just a beautiful row of flowers. Isn't that cool? So you can really make any kind of flower border you want. All right, let's zoom back out just a little bit so we can get to the rest of our card. All right, so we have our flower border. That's all colored in with Lemon Lime Twist and Petunia Pop. And then finally for our mountain in the back, you'll receive a piece again, Secret C. And this mountain die is not going to cut an entire border like the other ones do. So you're just going to kind of cut this right in the middle, and then you'll just kind of connect and just cut that off. Most of this will be hidden. The only thing that's really going to show is that peak. So you don't have to worry about the rest of this anyway, because once we put it on the card behind this other mountain, all you're going to see is that one peak. So don't worry about being too precise or too exact with that. All right, that's our die cut pieces. Now I have already stamped our greeting here too. We are going to fussy cut this. There are no dies that do the greeting. If you don't want to fussy cut your greeting, you could just do a piece of white, just trim it as a rectangle, or die cut an oval or something. That would be fine too. But I want to show you my trick for cutting out words and sentiments. So I have taken a pencil. You can probably see I just drew a line around the outside of the greeting. So I find this to be more helpful because with stamped images, if you're cutting a stamped image, you kind of have a line to follow. You have the edge of the stamped image to follow. With greetings, you don't really get that same kind of line. So I find it helpful to draw my own line with a pencil, and then I can just follow that line. So there's no guessing on where I need to cut. I've already done the outline of it with a pencil, and so I don't have to worry about cutting too much or not cutting enough and having to go back later and fix it. It's easier if you can just do it all in one pass. Now you'll see I'm just like following that pencil line, and I'm not getting the entire pencil line. There's some lines down here that haven't been cut off completely. That's okay. We're just going to go in with the pencil eraser and clean up anything that didn't get cut off. But if you are hesitant to cut out fussy cut words or even fussy cut anything, you could also use the same tip for any image. But I find this is the best way to fussy cut words, is to give yourself a guide. So I'm trying to get in there. There we go. Now also when you're fussy cutting, you want to move your paper, not your scissors. So I'm holding my scissors with my dominant hand, and I am moving the paper and not my scissors. I'm also staying kind of in the center of my blade. That's where it's going to be the sharpest, and you're going to get the best, most clean cuts out of that center of the scissors. All right, so we have our greeting cut. It didn't take too long, and I'm just going to come in with my pencil, and we can just clean up any lines that got left over. And if you don't want to end up erasing any lines, you can always just draw your bubble slightly bigger and then just cut right inside the lines too. You can see we got rid of all those lines. It's perfect. Let's start assembling our card. All right, so we're going to take that piece of Coastal Cabana. And actually, let's get these two mountains put together first, because then we can use them as one. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal. A lot of this is just going to go down flat, so I'm just going to use Stampin' Seal. So I'm just going to kind of put this on the back of my mountain, just some adhesive on the back of my mountain, and then we'll just come in and just kind of pop that peak up just like that. I'm just going to trim this edge off. Anything that's hanging over, just go ahead and trim off. I'm not even going to do it nice. I just kind of hacked away at the back of that. Nobody's going to ever see that. All right, now that we have this all stuck together as kind of one piece, I'm going to put more adhesive on the back of this, and then we will stick this down to our paper. Now it's going to be the same width across. Both of these are 3 3/4, so it's going to be the exact same width across. So, and I'm not worried about it going to the bottom because we have plenty of other pieces to cover up the bottom. So really, I'm just kind of worried about how high I want it to the top of the card. All right, I think that looks pretty good, don't you think? Okay, let's go in with our trees. And we're gonna add our trees. And I want my trees to come low enough so we can still see a lot of that mountain. So again, it's the same width from side to side. So I'm just gonna line up those edges. We're gonna bring in our bush. Before we adhere this down, I want to just make sure we get some of our other pieces. And you know, we need to do a little bit of stamping. So let's just set this aside for a sec, because we just want everything to line up down at the bottom, from the bottom up now instead of from the top down. So I want to do those last 3 pieces together. So I have a piece of Coastal Cabana. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. So let me pull out scratch paper again, Coastal Cabana ink. And we're going to use the Stampin', the stamp set that has lots of little lines. It's it looks like, you know, water reflections, and that's what we're going to use it as. We're just going to stamp it all along this piece of Coastal Cabana. I'm going to just go a couple of times and really get that like water look, so it looks like a river flowing. All right, tone on tone too, so it's not gonna be, it's gonna be subtle, and it's gonna stand out, it's gonna look great. Okay, so just some adhesive on the top of that piece, and then we can line this up with our flowers, just like that. And if there's anything hanging off, we'll just go in with our scissors, or you can use a paper trimmer and just trim that off, so nobody will ever know. All right, this piece is going to go up on dimensionals, so I'm going to grab a couple of those. So we'll stick this piece on with a few dimensionals. Pull these off so they're ready to go. My goodness, the dimensionals are fighting me today. All right, now this piece are little like hedges or bushes. They already have adhesive on them, but I don't want to cover up too much of them. So I'm just going to line this up. It's a little high. Let me to line this up. I'm making this look a lot harder than it should be. I think that's good. It's going to go on at a little bit of an angle. I think my die cutting was a little bit wonky, so I'm just going to put it on at an angle, and then you guessed it, we'll just chop this piece right off. Nobody will ever see the back of your project, so don't worry about making that perfect. Or the back of these pieces, because they're all going to be adhered down, so don't worry about making it perfect. And then this piece is just going to line up with that very bottom of that piece of Coastal Cabana. Beautiful, right? All right, let's get this adhered down to our Secret C piece. And while we're putting adhesive on things, I'm going to put adhesive on this, and we'll stick this to our card base. First, you're going to have a slight border of the Secret C when you put on this one. And I just did that to make sure that the Coastal Cabana piece really popped on the Coastal Cabana card base. My gosh, isn't it gorgeous? Just like that. So stinking gorgeous. All right, we're going to finish it off with our greeting. So I'm going to put our greeting on a dimensional, and we're just going to stick this down here. And then we'll use some of our shades of green hexagons. I'm going to use this brighter one, either the lemon lime twist or the granny apple green one, whatever color you want to call that. And I have 3 up here perfectly ready to go. So we're just going to put one here. I'm going to grab another one. We'll put them down here. These hexagons are so beautiful, and they kind of are, I would say, a little bit holographic. They kind of mimic other colors that they're around. They're really, really beautiful. All right, so that is card 1. I hope you love this card. I will be back all week with through Thursday with 3 more cards that you can make in the class to go. Remember, if you want the class to go, all you need to do is place an order in my online store by June 30th, and you'll be sent the class to go completely free. All the details on how to get the class to go are in the video description. Measurements are all in the video description as well as a link to my blog, which will have pictures and details on the card and also the class to go. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos coming up. And I will see you guys tomorrow for card number 2. Bye.